I'm gonna do a quick little showing of my new tractor. That's it over there. Not new, but not new to me. I started cutting grass the other day. You can't really tell, I'm showing this video, but I'm do a little bit before and after. I guess, I don't know what the weather. I'm supposed to have a front passing through. One of those drop the humidity fronts. But you can kind of see the grass is up a little bit. Certain areas up more. I'm gonna come back to this. Letting it warm up right now. You can kind of see the grass is tall up in here. I made a few passes yesterday. I had to stop early. I had to go run and do something like almost emergency style stuff. But I made some passes, and it did a pretty good job cutting. And I was on the fence of whether or not I should keep the bush hog, trade it. The dealership, not where I bought it, but a dealership said, we got water here still. But the dealership where I was gonna originally buy a tractor from, this is a great story. I went to my old lawnmower. I got tired of fixing it. I spent 8 hours one Saturday working on it, and about 15 minutes cutting grass. And it was almost every time I cut grass I'd have to do that. And to cut this yard, this is almost 6 acres. You know, you don't cut the whole thing. They got stuff that I didn't cut, you know, with trees and stuff all, but you got to get around. And it was an old 1986 Woods mowing machine, and it just constantly gave me problems. I could have maybe fixed it up, but man, no. And I decided to start looking for subcompact tractors. Now, we already have a Mahindra 2810 and a 28 horsepower Mahindra, this is almost 20 years old. And it's nice, just a little too big for coming out here, and we like to keep it up at our hunting area, our hunting camp. And I brought it over here to disc. I had disked right there for some corn. I disked the garden way over there in the background, but I wanted something smaller, and I found that I like Mahindra. I would have taken another name brand, but Mahindra's been good to us. So I went to the dealership, the closest one, and I called a few others, and you know, all the prices were, you know, right on the same. So I figured I'd go to the closest dealership. And the only thing that was different is the interest rates were different on that one. And I was like, why are your interest rates like 1% higher than everyone else? And he's like, I don't know. And we were kind of talking back and forth. And finally he just says, are you opposed to buying a used one? And I said, no, not if it's in the right shape, the right price. He goes, I know a guy, we sold it to him. He's got too many tractors, he never uses it. And I think they said, he goes, I think he's asking $6,500 for it. And I said, well, I'll go look. Turns out the guy was asking $6,000 for it. And I was like, something's got to be wrong with this thing. So I went and looked, and we looked it over, and I ran the bush hog, and I ran it, and I was like, God dog, man, this thing's in nice shape. It looked brand new. And he did a little bit customizing to it. He lowered that roll bar and put a toolbox on it, but that's it. And right when we started, we could hear a little ting 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 noise coming from the motor. I said, uh-oh, that's something. Anyway, what it was I'll show you. And it's the only thing I had to do to fix it. Real easy for me. I'll go ahead and shut it down. I was letting it warm up, but to do this, you gotta unscrew that. Unscrew that. what weed guard, that brush guard for with. Pull this. And then bring more the hood up. You can see I got some dust I need to clear out. Only thing is, I haven't done that yet. Let's see how the screen should come out of there pretty easy, but that's in the way. I guess that just pulls up. I think it's just wedged in there. No, okay, you just unscrew it right here. Anyway, what the problem ended up being was this bracket right here on the exhaust pipe, they cracked, and it was just hanging. And since it didn't have support there, right here where the exhaust manifold pipe comes into the muffler, had cracked, and that was shaking, wobbling around. Kind of got a little play, but see what I did? I bound it with just some tie wire, not tie wire, but some wire that I have, and then stabilized that, and then I welded that bracket back on there, and I just put this back together, and it works like a charm. I mean, it's a 2016 eMax 22 horsepower. So that one in there. Doing this one-handed, and then get that right there lined up on there. Oh, I missed that one. Yeah, you gotta get that one lined up, and that one. Both those lined up. I think I got it on there, right? Yeah. So that was it. That was the only problem they had. Brush guard back. I might weld a grate onto the front of the brush guard so it really acts like a brush guard. But other than that, it's in pretty good fit shape. So I told the guy when I was over there, like kind of like a fool, I was like, well, let me think about it. I got home and I was like, what the heck am I thinking about? The cheapest I saw online for a second hand of this same caliber was $10,000 second hand that same year. This only had 100 hours on it when I bought it, and it's got 119 and a half now. It's dirty, and I'm gonna clean it up after I finish using it this time. So I got this. He had cut that, he said, because he couldn't get to this Zerk fitting on there to grease that shaft where the shaft connects to the bush hog right there, that joint. You'd have to take that thing off to do it then every time. He just said he cut it. That's one thing he did. No sweat off my back. So $6,000, that's a steal. That's God, that was a great deal. A four-wheel drive tractor. I mean, I know that four-wheel drive on a tractor is, you know, it can get you out a little bit, but if you're in some slick stuff with these kind of tires, these industrial tires, you're gonna get stuck. It'll get you out of maybe like a little wetness that I had over there, and that's about it. Oh, he also put a rack on the back of it for a toolbox, which is a good idea. You know, tools, you need them out in the field. Anyway, so the other day, the only other implement I really wanted Oh, I decided to keep the bush hog because it cuts the grass in the yard just fine. I didn't need a finishing mower. So I liked having the versatility of a bush hog. So the other day I was making a video on my tractor, and I ran out of battery. I didn't charge it. But I think I had pretty much gone over most of the stuff. This is a Mahindra eMax 22 horsepower. And I've been cutting grass with it, and I got a stellar deal on this this machine. Pretty sure it's a 2016. He bought it in 2016, the guy who bought it, who I bought it from. And I was telling a story about how the dealership put me on to this guy. That's crazy that they would actually recommend someone that's selling one, but it sounds like it's a stand-up dealership to do that. Came with the bush hog, came with the front end loader. Most of them I'm pretty sure standard come with the front end loader. One thing I got coming in, I got a stellar deal. I was looking on the internet because the one more implement I definitely want is a tiller, and a rotary tiller, rototiller. It hooks up to the PTO because we have disc on the other tractor that we have, and I just want a tiller. And I was looking on the internet, and I couldn't find one for less than, well, around $2,100. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be tough. And then I came across a dealership, must have went out of business or something, kind of close by, and they had it for $1,900, and then a line scratched through it, $800. So I was like, this got to be some old ad. So I called it up. I called up the number, and the guy answered, and I said, I see an ad. Do you possibly have that same tiller that you showing? He goes, yeah, just put that ad up. I think he said that he just put that ad up, but he had it. And I said, oh man, I want it. And he, it's about an hour ride away from me. I said, I can come get it as soon as I get a chance and get off. And he said, his line scratched through it, $800. I couldn't believe it. I said, what's wrong with it? He said, there ain't nothing wrong with it. He had a dealership for tractor parts or tractors. I don't know if it's tractors too, but tractor implements. And he said he either went out of business or quit selling. And said, well, I want it. And he, we got to talking where I live and all of that. Well, it turns out his son lives right down the road from me. He said, I can just get my son to bring it to you. I said, man, that would be nice. I don't have to hook the trailer up, go over there and make the run. I can do stuff around the house. So as it is, his sons, two sons, are coming tomorrow for one of the football game was last night, so I guess they out in New Orleans somewhere doing what people do in New Orleans. And they're gonna come by tomorrow and drop it off for me. Can't wait. So I'm gonna have a tiller for this as of tomorrow. Anyway, that's pretty much the new machine. I might get some footage of me running on it. I still got a little bit to cut. That'll be it. So I've been running it so it'll start up real easy. Oop. PTO on right there. think it will. I had people talk on the tractor before. I had left off right here, cut through the chicken coop. That looked like a mess. I'm on an angle right here. Versatility with a bush hog. I'm pretty familiar with a bush hog. And this one is geared, so anytime you hit that clutch, it shuts the PTO down. And that's going to take a little getting used to me too. A bush hog with it shut down every time I hit the clutch, but you know, that ain't no big deal. That's the cherry. That's a lot of oak, and that cut small stuff is sassafras. I just go cut that up and burn it. I guess it'd be alright burning that. I don't know. Never used that as firewood before. That's persimmon, wild persimmon trees I'm letting grow. Now one thing people might want to know about this tractor, if you're a bigger dude, how comfortable is it? Well, I don't consider myself monstrous by any means, but I'm 6'1", 230 pounds, and I can fit on this pretty comfortably. It does give you a little bit of pain in the back when you keep looking back at the cut deck. And when you got a lot of trees in the yard, and bushes and stuff like that, you spend a lot of time going round and round. Take a pretty sharp turn. Now I got into that last time because it was a lot drier, and I probably could make it through there, but I ain't gonna test my luck. pretty fun. Alright, that's it. Okay, what I got here, I just got this today. It's a rototiller. And the one thing I had to do to it, I had to cut that shaft on there. The shaft right here. A bit, but that wasn't a big deal. I lubed it up, I kind of sprayed this stuff called Corrosion X all over it. It's brand new, never been used except for by me. I used it a little bit earlier today. The guy dropped it off, and I got this thing for steel, I think. I hope. I got it for 800 bucks. So this whole tractor and setup with the bush hog, the tiller, the front end loader, under 7 grand, 6,800 is what I got in it. That's pretty good to me. I'll go ahead and film some of this running here. I got the other camera set up right there. Now the one thing about me, this is my first time using this kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. All I know is I watched some YouTube videos. I never had a, ooh, that sun is, it's hot. It's hot out here, y'all. Got some weather coming that way, but it's hot. So, times already, so what I'm gonna do is get that tiller that way I think it needs to be. Go ahead and engage the PTO. Get it up to there and put it in one low. There we go. was just a rock or something. I'm gonna probably come through and till it again before I plant, but I just wanted to get it pretty much tilled and leveled out. Man, that's pretty good. Yeah, pretty deep. Not bad. Still got some grasses in there, Anita. Boy, that's fluffy. That's pretty fluffy. I'll come back when I finish with these okras. I hit one of them. They still putting out a few okras, so I'm gonna let them do that. But and they still had some roots in this ground, but I had disced this before and chopped up most of the roots. Till it's finishing them off, it looks like, but pretty good. Yep. So this is a area that I had planted some corn in. I didn't do really well, but all I had done before was disc this. Now I'm gonna till it, see what happens. bit, but